My name is Maimuna. I am studying first year MPCS. Today my topic is control statement in C program language. First, what are the control statements in C? And types of control statements in C program. First, what are control statements in C? Control statements in C help to control the flow of program execution. It is used to direct the execution of statements under certain conditions. Next, types of control statements in C. Types of control statements in C. First one, decision making control statements, conditional statements in C program, go to statements in C, loop control statement in C. First, decision making control statements in C. First one, simple if statements. Second one, if else statements. Third one, nested if else. And fourth one is if else ladder statement. First one, simple if statements. The statements under if block are executed when condition is satisfied, else statements under if block are not executed. This is the syntax of the simple if statements, and this is the flowchart of the simple if statements. And this was the program of simple if statement. Next, if else statements. The statement under if block is executed when condition is satisfied, otherwise else block is executed in if else statements. This was the flowchart of the if else statements. Next, the program of the if else statements. Next, third one, nested if else statement. This was the nested if else statements consist of another if or else. This was the flowchart of the nested if else statement. This was the nested if else syntax. If condition, else statement 1 and statement 2. Next, if else program. Next, fourth one, else if ladder. Else if ladder statements contain multiple else if when either of the condition is true, the statements under that particular if will be executed. This was the flowchart for the else if ladder. Next, else if ladder syntax. This was the program about if else ladder statement. Next, conditional statements, switch statements. As per the value of the switch expression, the switch statement will allow multi-way branching. This was in switch statements, and this was the flowchart of the switch statements. Next, switch statement 1, syntax. Next, important keywords in switch statement. First one, break. This keyword is used to stop the execution inside a switch block. It helps to terminate the switch block and break out of it. This was one of the switch statement keyword. Next, default. This keyword is used to specify the set of statements to execute if there is no case match. This was some important keywords of the switch case. Next, this was the program of the switch case example. Next one, go to statements. Go to statements. It means go to statements are used to transfer the flow of control in a program. Go to statement is also known as a jump control statement. This was syntax go to, label name, and example is go to odd or even. Next, this was the program of go to statement. Next, loop control statements in C. First one, for loop. For loop is also known as a pre-test loop. The statements under for loop are executed until the condition is true. And this was the flowchart of the for loop. And this was the syntax for expression 1 and expression 2, expression 3. Flower bracket statement 1, statement 2, flower bracket close, statement n. And this was the program for the for loop statement program. Next, while loop. A while loop is also known as an entry loop, in which while loop the condition is tested first, then the statements under body of the while loop will be executed. And this was the syntax of the while loop. While condition flower bracket statement 1 and 2 body of the program and statement n, close the flower bracket. And this was the flowchart for the while loop. Condition, if condition, and this is start, body of the while loop and exit. Condition is going to true and condition is false. Next, this was the program for the while loop. Next, do while loop in control statements in C. Do while loop. Do while loop is also known as an exit loop. In the do while loop, the statements will be executed first and then the condition is checked. And this was the syntax for the do while loop. Do statement 1 and 2 body of the program, flower bracket close, while condition statement n up to. And this was the flowchart of the do while loop. Body of the loop, condition is direct is to statement n, false. Next, this was the program for the do while. Differences between while loop and do while loop. First one, while loop. The while loop evaluates the condition first and then execute the statements in while loop. And do while loop. The do while loop executes the statements first before evaluating the condition in do while loop. Second one, in while loop. The condition is specified at the beginning of the loop in while condition. Second one, in do while loop. The condition is not specified until after the body of the loop in do while loop. The body is executed only if a certain condition is met and it terminates when the condition is false in while loop. The body is always executed at least once regardless of whether the condition is met. This was the difference between while loop and do while loop. This was the flowchart for while loop and do while loop. So, these are the differences between while loop and do while loop. Thank you.